What you thinking, man?
I've been in.
What you thinking, man? What you thinking, man?
I've been in the polyamory.
What you thinking, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me.
Right.
I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we were even thought. Why doesn't my father is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is a rejection.
You see, I understand with my father.
Men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids, and I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband and stuff like that.
Yo, what it is, what it do? Another Wednesday night. The therapist won't be able to make it in tonight. And hold on a minute. All right, hold on. Let me see something here. What's that? What it do, George?
Shoot, nothing much, man. What's going on with you?
It's lounging.
It's good.
That's my jam right there, boy. That yeah, glow.
Yep. What's up?
But I gotta endorse something. Hold on. Man, look. All right, let's see. I need to add something. Hold on. Banners. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, what's been happening with you though, man? You've been MIA for a minute. What it do?
Man,
I've been seeing your flyers. You've been all over the world. And yeah. You know.
Yeah, I've been busy, been working with my nonprofit, trying to do some advocacy work. Got things going personally, so it's been a little bit hectic, but I'll be able to be back on here every week now, and things settling down, and I'm glad to be back.
Man, we've been missing you, man, because you know they get mad because when you on here, man, I be drilling you. So what do you think about then it just turned into our show, and they be like, man, come on, man, we was gonna say something, but that's just how deep it is, man. And I was talking with my previous host last week, and I was telling him how the flavor you bring when you're on here, because he's Muslim and he has a totally different view than what we do. You know, we call it dating, they court, you know, and all that, and we like to get to know, and they go through people to get to know while courting, and you know they got all that different. And so when he left, and then you came with your experience and what you've been through, and how it altered your mental and your thoughts, and then you know you bring the therapy side of it also.
Right.
You know, it just kind of kept everything rolling. So yeah, when you was absent, my other co-host, Jay Austin, he was like, hey, what happened? We didn't run him off. Did I say, no, you ain't gonna run him off, because he gonna voice his opinion, and it is what it is. And he really, I can tell by your demeanor that you don't care if they don't understand. You feel what you feel. So I say, he real. He just busy, you know. So welcome back.
Thank you.
And once he come on, like I say, top of the hour is when we dive into the topic. And so just be ready, because I'm gonna come with some videos and I'm gonna come with some questions.
Right.
Because I see things a little different too, because I may not be 100%. I mean, I'm learning the difference in what's going on, and traditional compared to modern. I'm making the adjustment, but I'm not going to get so thrown off into the modern that I lose my values that I learned as a traditionist. So I'm not going to do that, but I do understand change, but I'm going to adjust to the change that where I can still stick to, my morals. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
There's just a lot of things that's going on and that I see going on I don't agree with, amongst the new generation. And like Babyface and all them say, call it a little old fashioned, but it is what it is. But now the first thing I want to talk about before we get into the topic is, and I'm not gonna make this a total show or topic, but it's what's going on right here with the P. Diddy thing.
Right.
And I'm just touching up on it because it's like racketeering and the sex trafficking. Those are easy to throw on people, and it's hard for counsel or attorneys or whatever to get them off, because since that Me Too movement, we've seen it happen with Michael Jackson. We've seen it happen with Bill Cosby. We've seen it happen with R. Kelly.
Right.
And now we got it going on with P. Diddy. When they can't get you for what the original crime that you've been accused of. Now here they go, well, we're going to say sex trafficking. He paid this person to go do that and da-da-da-da-da. And then if you listen to a lot of the complaints that's filed against him, a lot of it's money related, especially the last guy that they talking about who was coming with the videos and different things. This man's sexuality, what him, Meek Mill, him and other guys doing in the industry, that ain't got nothing to do with us, because it's almost more gay people than it is heterosexual. So that ain't new, But one girl, one woman came out saying that he sexually assaulted her when she was 17. So I looked up the legal age of consent in New York. It's 17. So she gets donkey of the day because she's not going to get, her case not going to be strong because she was legal age, and they was trying to stick that out there to say she was in illegal age. But
what was the argument? Was that she was that he sexually assaulted her, or the fact that she was underage?
That she was underage.
What was the thing on that? Because even if she is at the age of consent, if she's alleging that he sexually assaulted her, then they would still be technically different.
Yeah, right? But it wouldn't hold as much power if it was a 14-year-old.
Perception-wise,
So it's pretty much his word against hers. But I honestly feel like this is a shakedown, because even that guy, the last producer dude that's coming out with all this, he ended up saying that he didn't get all the money he's supposed to get. So that was the motive, to create whatever. And P. Diddy throwing wild parties, and they said it was maybe, so-called underage girls at the party, but they wasn't saying that they were sexually assaulting or messing with him. He was trying to prove that it's underage girls that be at the parties.
Right.
But these girls that's 15, 16, 17, 15, 16, now are dressing like 24 and 25-year-olds.
Yeah, but you know what though? They've been doing that. That ain't nothing new. I'm so tired of dudes talking about where she looked like she was 30, but come on, cuz that ain't nothing new. We can't say we falling for that. We still saying we falling for that for real.
Now, especially these days, they used to.
Same thing I heard 20 years ago, though. I heard that 20 years ago from dudes on the bus, old dudes on the bus checking out the young girls, talking about, yeah, they look 20. They were saying that 20 years ago. So What's the difference between now and then, other than folks just getting caught doing the stuff?
Exactly. That's it. And so now, like you have different artists coming out requesting ID. Can I see ID? But like you say, it was songs out years ago. Keith Sweat, you may be young, but you ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I guess my whole thing about the Diddy thing is this. Me knowing what I know about federal cases and RICO stuff, if they raid 2 of your houses at the same time like that, they know something. So I ain't saying they accuse him of everything that they are accusing him of, but somewhere is something going on, because a lot of these rappers and musicians don't understand when the feds come in, they already got the case won. What's it, like 96% conviction rate? So that's the thing. You know, if it was a state thing, I could see that, but it's federal. So that definitely means they got something concrete somewhere. We just don't know what. So I'm not going to be in a rush to defend these folks till I hear the evidence to come out. I don't care how much I like your music. Sorry. I mean, I think Bill Cosby did some dirty stuff. Ain't about talking. I mean, I'm so sick of hearing it, targeting powerful black men. And stop doing shit. Stop giving them ammunition. If you already know you're gonna be a powerful black man, you know they're gonna come for you anyway. Stop doing dumb shit then when they come after you, you want to whine, it's because I'm black. No, it's because you did something.
Right.
Come on, man. I guess I'm gonna be just real this evening, because I'm not necessarily.
No, that's real. No. You're saying the same thing that I'm saying, but I like to view both sides, and I like playing, the advocate, because I'm like, Cassie said her thing, and now everybody, all of a sudden, people want to come out to woodwork. Same thing with the R. Kelly thing. So I'm seeing a pattern.
But you know why?
But I agree with you.
But it's so hard for sexual assault victims. Now I know it's a lot of them probably got a lot of conjecture and bullshit, but I'm saying I feel bad for a lot of these people, because it's hard for them to come out anyway. And that's why you often see when one come out, here come they all coming out. It's not that, it's just that it makes it easier for them to come out once they hear, okay, I wasn't the only one. So I don't like to think of it in terms of, well, all these women coming out now. I can't imagine being in a position to having something like that happen, and how it would just literally kind of mind fuck you, and to the point where it's hard for them to come out. And that's why a lot of times it'll be years and years and years, so let's keep that in mind too. But I'm not a big believer in this, a lot of this stuff that we see these celebrities being a witch hunt. I mean, it's just your bad behaviors coming back on you, or your stupidity one.
But when Cassie did her thing, and some start coming out after that, if he was smart, and this is gonna tell if he's smart, anything that could have been incriminating on me, I would have got rid of.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did. But the thing is, when you're doing dirt, other folks keep evidence too. So you don't know who already may have gone to the feds and given them something. I mean, for them to raid his houses like that, they obviously got some kind of tip. So the thing about, things you do in the dark come to the light. And if you got more than one person involved, I mean, it's only a matter of time before you get caught.
That's why they say, do your dirt all by your lonely.
Well, depends on the kind of dirt you're trying to do, because some of that dirt get mighty muddy. So, I mean, I say just don't do it. If you just don't do it, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, it's other ways to get your rocks off without having a federal offense behind it. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I agree. And like I say, a lot of them artists, I've said the same thing you said. You just got in trouble. You just got caught.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, raiding both houses, and the feds involved, they got something. And and did you see the video on how they wrecked his house though?
Yeah, now that was wrong. They went in. I will say this. They went in very, very heavy-handed. I think that was a little extra. The way they went in, I'm like, it's not like you were serving a criminal warrant. Well, you may have been, but you were serving a search warrant. not fugitive warrants. So you didn't have to go in with the guns drawn and do all that. They were just
The
doing
gun,
yeah.
And then they tore his place up.
Yeah, I saw, and that's wrong. But they do that all the time.
But if they didn't find nothing, I would have a healthy lawsuit on them.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't find nothing on. Well, I'm gonna say this. Even if they didn't find nothing, they probably already got enough to you know what I'm saying. If you got enough to get a federal search warrant, you definitely got something. So it's something to it.
Yeah, well, we gonna see how the attorneys work.
It's just like the Vince McMahon stuff. You know, it's the same thing. We don't know what all's gonna come out yet, and we know once it gets federally investigated, there's definitely something there.
I mean, even with the Young Thug case,
right?
That racketeering, that case been going on forever. I think that's considered one of the longest cases ever.
Right.
Because they trying to get him on racketeering, but he got a hellified attorney. Apparently, R. Kelly couldn't afford the attorney that Young Thug got.
Right.
Because Young Thug's attorney going head and head.
And sometimes, no matter how good of an attorney you get, your ass just guilty. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, a lot of times we think because we get a fire attorney, we getting off. No. You still did it. I mean, you know, let's stop deifying attorneys so much, and because you know sometimes wrong is just wrong. It's and when you need not open yourself up to stuff like that. And I'm not saying be perfect, but when you're doing certain things, man, it's gonna come out sooner or later. You know, and I just don't. I'm so tired of us as black men and black women talking about that witch hunt mess when it's obviously evidence of something there. If you know you're a black man in the public eye, then don't give them ammunition, and we keep giving them ammunition to come back and shoot us every time. Every time a black man is into something, you know, we need to hold them accountable. Now, sometimes when it is a witch hunt, but you holler so much that when it is a credible instance of that, nobody wants to listen anymore. So come on, man.
Right.
Me Too wouldn't happen if something didn't happen.
You're right. But yeah, it was clickbait going around on social media earlier today, trying to say that TMZ was saying that he was arrested. And so the main thing I wanted to point out is that he's not arrested.
No, he's not. He's not.
And you know, but yeah, somebody had posted TMZ had his hands behind his back saying that he had been arrested, you know, and all that. And I'm like, you know, our people are especially our people quick to jump on anything negative though.
Oh yeah. Oh, we can't wait to see that. Crabs in the bucket. Yeah. I'm from
That's good for him. That's good for him, you know. But I'm like,
it's you know what it's that crabs in the bucket mentality, the same way of thinking that was instilled in us during slavery of holding each other down. So you know we love the celebrities when they you know when they making us sing and dance, but we can't wait for them to fall because we want to stand on their knees. You know, and it's like, man, I don't do this celebrity worship. I don't understand it. The only reason I might hear about anything is because it may be so prevalent where I might hear about it at the grocery store, but I don't watch the news. I haven't watched TV in 5 years. If it ain't streaming, I ain't studying it. You know, I'm just saying this celebrity worship, why? You know, and it's just kind of I don't know. I just see grown folks just staying worried about what celebrities doing and who wearing this. Man, worry about yourself. These folks do not know you alive. If you like Will Smith movie, fine. Go watch you a Will Smith movie. But other than that, man, let this shit go. You got your own life.
Yep.
I'm gonna shut up before I go too far.
No, that's what I am. I'm like, if you're not a blogger or you know, investigator, you know, it's different things like that where that's your thing.
Yeah, your profession.
But you got people killing themselves trying to be like these celebrities, going broke, getting their bodies done, you know, worrying about who they dating.
Yeah, because you know why? Because they're not happy with their own lives. When you're not happy with your own life, because you're not living your own life, then you start to live vicariously through other people like celebrities. So if you too worried about what so and so wearing or who so and so sleeping with, then maybe you need to get out and touch some grass and try to find something to rebuild your own life. You might be a little bit too bored. So that's another thing too we need to do. We need to take more time for self-investment and self-interest and self-introspection and self-prayer. Maybe then what Diddy do won't mean so much. Maybe we won't care so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. So,
but yeah, so they got another one, and 9 times out of 10, he not getting off.
No, probably not. Yeah, because you know when they get their federal stuff, you're not gonna hear the word settle too much. You know, I mean, you might hear plea deal, but you're not gonna hear settle too much. So I don't know. I wish him the best. Hope he didn't do it. Well, you know, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I'm like you. I mean, when you're guilty, and this man got a lot of negative stuff tied to his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it's just, you know, you just got to be careful how you move and how you treat folks on the way up and stuff you do in the dark, and try to do your dirt in a way, man, that's not gonna be injurious to anybody. But man, come on, we got to start covering our asses a little bit better on some of this stuff and stop doing wrong. Because you got to understand, if you're a black man of any kind of prominence, man, they already waiting on you to fail. I mean, we obviously people on Facebook that are prominent black men that are out here saying something about something they get messed with. So, you know, yeah, you already know what's coming for you. It's like, man, come on, prepare for it. When you get that first big check, think about what you got to do to keep them coming. That means keeping your nose clean. And we're not telling people that. We're not telling our young people that. But then again, there's so much dirty stuff that go on behind the scenes in terms of just even casting couch type stuff and the stuff that black folks have to put up with and all the how can I put this diplomatically? Non-traditional lifestyles you have to deal with and pressures you have to deal with. I mean, hell, even I've heard of things like that. So, you know, we you know, once you become a black man of any kind of prominence,
but I'm like
man, keep your nose clean.
We need to not do it. Not do it. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, keep your nose clean. But and that's a good way to get into the topic of the night. Keeping your nose clean.
Keeping your nose clean.
Keeping your nose clean. Because it's like the best way when you're in a relationship, and I always say this, if you're in a committed relationship that would tone down cheating, is number one, don't do what you don't want that other person to do to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple.
Right.
It's simple.
Yep.
Don't do unto them that you don't want them to do unto you. And it'll be less heartbreak, less heartache, fewer divorces, you know.
Well, you know, the thing about that subject is it requires people to be honest. And sometimes honesty can be a difficult thing for people. But the question of the night is, how does the relationship function after that has occurred, right? Well, usually it ceases to. Usually it doesn't. And I can only speak to men out here, and I can't speak to a woman's experience. Could never do that. But, you know, I think a lot of people got to understand what it does to a man when that happens, what it does to his ego, because what I really want to start doing is being more open, us black men, us brothers being more open about our feelings, because we have a hard time doing it. And a lot of times people don't understand that black man ego is a fragile thing. And when things like that occur in a relationship, that's the first thing to go. When that's the first thing to go, you can have a real bad downward spiral because all the other things creep in. All the self-doubt creeps in. Not even the I ain't even got to the trust and loyalty issues yet, but just as far as the male self, the ego, to take that kind of hit is usually most men don't recover from totally, maybe to a degree. But I think a lot of women that are unfaithful, whether it's actual or perceived, a lot of times encounter that after that the man, just don't rock the same. It just don't. And I think a lot of the main part is because our ego takes a hit.
But I agree with you. And you had said something on the intro that we played before the podcast starts. It's similar to what you just said. And when I heard it on the hearing something live is different in real time than what it is when you hear it again. So because we be in our emotions and as men we voicing our opinion. What's that in Austin? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Austin? What's up?
What's going on, George?
You got it. So when you said that it's hard enough for men to express their feelings anyway, not only brother to brother, then you have to reach out to a perfect stranger, and then you let your guard down and give your heart and feelings, emotions, and everything, get them tied up in that stranger. If it's hard enough with family, then when that stranger, especially if you're solid, you about your business, you don't play with people's feelings. When you get that first betrayal, that first letdown, that first heartbreak, when you that man that holds his feelings in, you're right. Many don't recover. And I often speak about this guy that I looked up to. He was cool older cat. And when I say look up to, is that I admire. He's on the straight and narrow. He owned his own company. He had a nice wife, had a house, nice crib, nice car. He doing his thing. And so I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, maybe 18, 19, 20 years old, trying to see which way I'm gonna go in life. And I seen him running, company, a beeper company, he had U-Haul company. I mean, anything. He was running computers, anything that you could think of. This man was making that money. Nice looking wife, nice crib, nice cars. So I'm like, okay, he cool. And so I met him, and I was into radio at the time, and I went to his establishment to offer him an advertising campaign, and that's how I got to know him. And cool cat, very smart, very intelligent, and I was into all that back then. And he had a business meeting in Shreveport. On his way through Ruston, close to Ruston, he realized he forgot something for the presentation he had to do. So he turned around and he said, it was at night. The presentation was early that morning, but he wanted to, get there, get up, freshen up, didn't want to be on the highway, rushing through traffic, getting there for 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So he was just going to get him a room that night, get up that morning and go to the presentation. He forgot something that he needed for his presentation. He turned around in Ruston and drove all the way back to a town called Bastrop, which is like an hour and a half away, maybe, from Ruston, a good hour. So when he made it back home, it was another vehicle in his driveway, another truck. He went inside the house, and his wife was in their bedroom with another man. And they wasn't just watching TV, playing pit pat. They was doing what they do. And this man literally had a nervous breakdown, bro. And I seen this man who the community saw a strong leader, in the community, a strong pillar in the community, have to go to rehab, have to get his mind right. He lost everything because he didn't make the presentation. He lost that deal. His company went under because he's sitting in rehab therapy on the 5th floor of St. Francis. And, we was like, and at that time, I was a young bull. So you looking at 19 years old. I'm like, man, I ain't tripping on nothing, no bra. I'm in college. Women come a dime a dozen, and I get them a penny a case. So I'm like, why did this strong man break down like that? You know what I'm saying? And for years, I never understood, but what I did see was, and this played closer to me protecting my heart, was to see that one woman bring that man down, and he lost everything because he wasn't able to work. Once you check yourself in those psych wards, start going through those therapies and seeing these psychologists and all that, man, that's time. And if your business is a business that thrives from day-to-day activity, your company is down. Your vendors are not getting paid because
Did she tear him down, or did he allow himself to go down based on not being
prepared?
Not prepared, but
loving too much. He loved it too much. That's
emotionally strong.
What George said on the intro. Sometimes you can love somebody too much.
Yeah, I mean,
they still human.
And you say it's no such thing as loving somebody too much. So something happened, broke this man down.
He loved somebody too much. He loved her more than he loved himself. That's where he messed up.
That's the thing.
More than he loved himself.
That's the thing. There's no such thing as loving someone too much, but you don't love them more than you love yourself to allow yourself to be harmed by something that they do. Because everyone has flaws. Everyone makes choices that aren't beneficial to the relationship, right? Some people make selfish choices. So you have to be prepared and understand that there may be a time that comes that you're going to be disappointed in the person that you're with. And you have to learn how to accept that disappointment and determine if you're going to be strong enough to walk away or strong enough to stay. Because whichever decision you make is going to take strength.
Yeah. And to me, it's not even a matter of always being strong enough. Sometimes things are just best for you to do, and it's not always a matter of strength. Sometimes situations you just better off not in. Whether you can handle it or not. You can perfectly handle the situation, but if it's one that causes you any kind of distress or one that's just you find inconvenient, walk away from it. That's okay. But we as men, we fall into a lot of problems. We love these women more than we love ourselves sometimes. And I think that's when we have our problems. I'm not saying
they do.
I'm not saying you got to be a hoe or a womanizer, but come on.
It's not even about that. Being a hoe or a womanizer, and it's okay. Well,
I mean, a lot of men will go to that extreme. When they get hurt, they go to that extreme. So
I know what you're saying, because a lot of women do the same thing too.
Yeah,
I mean, just like who was that? What was that? Jasmine Sullivan? You gonna make a hoe out of me?
Really?
So
it's a lot of songs out, and then like under my post, this one girl said,
she gonna get
her lick back. Yeah, she getting her lick back.
And so I'm saying, why even go through all that?
Right?
Why even go through all that? So you're going to degrade yourself because what somebody else did, and it's still not hurting. It's not going to hurt them as much as you think it is. It still may just cause your relationship to continue to deteriorate. So you might as well just get out of it.
And it causes you to besmirch your own reputation. So you lowering yourself to get a kickback on somebody that doesn't bother. Best thing to do is try to get to a point where you can walk away from a situation if you have to. You know what I'm saying? And because a lot of stuff, when these situations happen, for a lot of times, us men, we can't deal with it. We can't take it. Whether you call it being strong enough or whatever. So you have to be strong enough to walk away.
And
Yep, I
but
agree
I
with that.
noticed a lot of women say that they stay in it because financial reasons, children, and some men I've seen say they stay in it because of children. But we had a big debate on that one night, and I just don't believe in the staying in a relationship because of a child.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I
That's
don't, I
stupid.
don't, I don't believe in that.
No, I don't believe in that either. Because here's the thing: you're not fooling the child. The child know before the adults do it's over. Yeah, the child will come in there and tell you when y'all breaking up. The children already know, so you're not staying together for them. It doesn't benefit the kids. I think a lot of times that's people's excuses for trying to hold on when the relationship's over is by saying it's for the kids, but it's never best for the kids.
Man, I thought that's thought and think and thought that same way. I don't know which way to put it right now. But after I had my daughter, I had to think about that. I said if my wife did something, would I stay because I feel I need to be around my daughter. I love my daughter so much. And I mean, I've been through a few divorces, and I walked away with with my ex that had my son. But it's something about that daughter that's just a little bit different, and
So
it may be because I'm older, and I think differently. But I struggle with what would I do. Because I was telling my dad the other day, I was like, man, I'm gonna just have to move in. I would just have to move in the other room. And then he said, until it don't work,
Right,
you know.
right.
But at the end of the day, I know that I would end up walking away, and because it wouldn't work because I'm a visual person. So every time I see her face, every time I lay down with her, that it's going to replay like a rerun over and over and over,
even though you
and
weren't
that's
there, you're
something that
seeing
I'm not
Right.
willing
the
to
You
deal
visual.
with.
still, you still, it's like it's like you can't even, you don't even want to hug the person. It's like, it's a weird thing,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of women can't understand that because men are very territorial. So if somebody kind of drink out our bowl, we don't want it no more. So that's the other thing too. You know, I think a lot of times, I think sometimes women don't understand it, and I think a lot of times we men we don't talk about it because it's a thing that plays on our insecurity and our egos and our self esteem a lot of times.
Yeah, and then it sets up other questions. Like I said on the post today, is it one time or is it habitual? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How long has it been going on? How long have
Then
I
it's
been
like
playing the fool?
so, and then it leaves way to hold the total betrayal of the trust, and that's really the part. It's the betrayal of the trust. It's the other
Hmm.
stuff too, but now you start questioning. So when you said you had to go and do this for work, or you said you was doing this for school, so I mean, you start to question because you start. Well, how did she have time? Well, I was, it start messing with your head. You
And
know.
you know what? Being that I'm visual, being that I'm a visual person and I think a lot, that's how I know I would have to get out of it. And I think I've said on this podcast, if I have to wake up every day, go in that bathroom, cry for an hour and a half, get myself together, wash your face, get you something to eat, and then head out, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do that. I can't stay in it. And like you were saying earlier, and Austin was saying, that ego of mine wouldn't allow me to. And it's the
Right.
fact that because I'm more of a secret person, I'm more of a private kind of person. So when I put my relationships and things like that out in the open, and that person who I already had a wall built up so high, I finally start taking layers of bricks down to love them. Once I have proof of betrayal or infidelity, it's
Mhm.
over instantly. And I don't care.
Right.
I don't mind losing everything because I know how to get back, and I'm gonna keep myself in a stable position where I'm not gonna lose everything. You see what I'm saying? So um, once it's there, man, I gotta go. I don't care if it's 20
Yeah,
years.
even if you still mess with them, some part of you emotionally is checked out.
I'm not gonna mess with them.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of you are checked out
Everybody I
because
ever broke up
that's
with,
one thing.
I cut off. Go ahead,
Well,
Austin.
I ain't gonna say that. I wouldn't knock a few of them back down. But my thing is, it feels
No, I can
tainted
do it.
now. I mean, it feels
Exactly.
tainted now. So
Not only
I'm
her
not
physically, but everything about the whole relationship feels tainted. It's like,
everything feels dirty and nasty at that point.
yeah. And
So
this whether the infidelity is perceived or not, even if you don't know your woman is doing something, once you suspect something, it messes with you.
Yeah,
You
that's
ain't
the
gotta have
specter.
it
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
yeah, because
yeah.
again, like you were saying, when they have to take these business trips, and when they going down to the grocery store and they take a little bit too long, and you be like, "Nah, shoot, the grocery store about 8.5 miles away, and it's
Hey,
gonna take you know, it's too much
hey,
work that goes into doing to living like that."
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then then when they get their hair done up, just to step out, then they stay longer. That'll really be puzzling somebody. You
Right.
know,
Yeah, I mean, you start questioning everything when you
You
going to
do.
get
And
when you
yeah.
going to get their nails done, when they're going to get massages or
Basically,
facials or whatever.
yeah, because basically what that happens, I mean, the trust is gone because you're gonna always be giving that woman the side eye, whether you mess with her or not, with your friends or not, you always gonna question everything. So, when you do, and I'm sure it's like this for when we do this to them, but I just think a lot of women don't understand that men go through those same issues they do, the trust, the self-esteem stuff, and they act like it's so easy for us just to pick up and keep on going because we bullshit each other and act like it's easy. But no, it's not. And that's why we got to have these discussions, because when we don't have these discussions and those things that impede us emotionally keep stacking up, we're going to have more problems. We're going to have more failed relationships. We're going to have more economic distress. We're going to have more high blood pressure. We're going to have all those things. So these kinds of discussions are going to help to improve us all as a people. So I'm glad we're getting to have them.
I'm trying to find. Let's see, title of trust. I'm trying to find this one little video I had that showed that trust issue. It's
Mm-hmm.
let me see. It was crazy. Uh, I know this ain't it, but let's see. Mm, Let me turn my.
Give him a second. He probably just went dark for a moment. But also, you got any thoughts about anything we just said recently? Hello? Or everybody froze?
So it was above that lady. All right, George, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Austin ended up jumping off.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, hold up. Yeah. Now, this is what we was talking about. trust issue.
Right.
I mean, because like you say, once that trust is gone, that's the main thing that kills the relationship. Because let's just say, and I always say, okay, if we having issues, okay, that communication, if I know we not gelling and something happened, you know, they're communicating with you, you don't do this, you don't do that, and you keep putting it off, and neglecting them, still hang with the boys, still doing what you do, still ignoring them, not conversation, not spending no time. And then they find somebody to spend time with, you know what I'm saying? And they've been talking to you about it. When it happens, that then you can accept it a little better to move on because you
Right.
know your part, you know what I'm saying? You know your part or your role in what happened.
Yeah, but it's that time when everything going good and you get smacked in the face with this shit. That's what's going. That's
Exactly.
what you thinking everything going cool. They lie, and then you get hit with that. That's the part that really gets you.
That's it. And so, and then, like y'all was saying earlier, when you take them back, and that's the hardest thing. I couldn't take them back, but a lot of times people take them back because they didn't have time to wean themselves off of them per se. And quit anything cold turkey could be detrimental to your health, whether it's stop eating food, smoking, drinking, anything that you can quit cold turkey, and that's including love, it can damage you. So when you take them back, I saw this video, and this is the trust issue thing that sets
When
in.
we take each other back after we both cheated.
You know what they say, it's cheaper to keep her. I mean, we both had did dirt. I was trying to forgive her, but I ain't gonna lie, I had a hard time still trusting her. So I was still doing my thing too. I mean, I was texting my side chick in the bathroom when I came out. She staring right in my face. But I feel like she was doing the same thing, because I caught her in the bathroom and I heard her giggling. I'm like, what the hell so funny in the bathroom? So I crept up to the door. She was still laughing. And I busted in there like, hey, what's so funny? Man, I ain't trust her. So I still had my side chick on standby. I was washing my clothes. Then I started texting my side chick. And she came in there. So I dropped my phone in the washer. Like, what's up? Then she went out to her car. Man, I felt like she was up to something. So I went out there like, hey, why you talking in the car? Why you can't?
Who in the hell wouldn't do all this?
You know what I'm saying? That's a terrible way to live.
Right.
And so like, I couldn't do that, but I felt him. I felt that because once that trust is betrayed, I mean, this man, you know, and then he still had his side, you know, that he texts and he don't know what she doing. She's sitting in the car talking on the phone. He thinking she talking to somebody else. That's why you have to get out of it. Because
it's even worse for the brother that ain't got no side chick. Think about the brother that's down there holding it down, being faithful, and he find that out when times is good.
When you think times are good. Exactly.
Yeah, when you think times good.
Yeah. Because they can change on you at any given time.
Yep. Again, I don't understand if you create a safe space for your person, if you communicate all the time, why would you make the choice to go outside of your relationship?
Selfishness. People just want to get their rocks off, man. That's all it is. Everybody
but now, what if they getting their rocks? Okay.
It don't matter, folks won't ride.
No, look now. I'm gonna tell you what my egotistical, narcissistic, mental was thinking. Okay, about 5, maybe 6 years ago. Okay, a friend of mine, long-term friend of mine, he posted on his Facebook page. He said he beat his woman down real good before she leave the house. And he say, so any guy that's trying to holler at her, you know, she not already got what y'all trying to give her or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
And so I went on there and said, if you got to do all that to
You
stop
ain't
her
got to do
from
that.
messing around, you know. But in actuality, it's more like, what can your woman want that you're not giving her? If y'all communicate, she shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? If it's sex, boom. You know what I'm saying? And most women step out of their relationship for sex. A lot of people want to say it's finances, but
Or
no.
emotional shit, but a lot of it is just sex. Let's not stop fooling ourselves.
It's something dealing with more than finances. It's
Right.
not, lack of communication, lack of feeling wanted, and
Lack of feeling secure.
lack of feeling secure. And
Sometimes back of their self-esteem.
my mom,
Yeah.
my mom met a female that I met who I thought, was pretty cool. She gonna be the one. Blah blah. And she said, "Are you sure that y'all she the one for you?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, she cool. She did, she that, blah blah." Then mom instantly saw. She said, "She's needy. She needs you to tell her she's beautiful. She needs you to tell her she's doing great." She's
Oh, that's
saying,
the
"You're not
worst.
that person."
Mm-hmm.
She say, "So I don't see that working." I'm like, yeah, we good. The chemistry good, sex, everything good. And less than a year later, we broke up.
Right.
But I didn't see that women need that because I didn't get too much of that growing up. I was more of a with a constructive criticism type person. When we
Right.
did something great, yeah, we got rewarded, but that wasn't we didn't get many hugs and, oh, that shirt looks nice on you. Oh, I like those shoes. We didn't get a lot of that.
Right.
We got it every blue moon when it stood out. So I didn't
Right.
grow up saying, oh, you're beautiful today. Oh, I love your hair. Oh, that outfit looks great. But that's what she wanted to hear every day. So when I
What was
wasn't doing
on
that and the guy on the job
uh-huh.
was doing that, you know, the
Well,
guy,
see,
he
you got to look
even
at what
noticed
kind
my
of
hair and you didn't even say nothing about my hair to me. If that's what you want to wear it, right? I'm
yeah,
not
but see,
smart in that
you
area.
got to look at what kind of relationship she had with her father too. See, that's some things
And
with
she
us men.
didn't.
When we look at these women, we got to start looking at what kind of relationships they got with their fathers. Were they
You right, and
fathers?
she didn't.
But what their fathers had, did their fathers have relationships with them? Because that gives us a lot of insights about what the hell we're going to have to deal with. So look at if she got daddy issues, if she don't have daddy issues, she too close to daddy. We need to start looking at that and forecasting what we finna deal with.
You know, you say that, and you take these three sisters that didn't grow up in a household together, and their dad wasn't around like that,
Right,
and they all have similar issues.
right,
They didn't even spend time together like that, but they all have similar issues
right,
because they weren't uplifted or whatever by their father.
right.
So basically, you're saying, in a lot of female, the position the father plays in their lives could affect their outcome.
Yeah, because
It does.
it does affect them in relationships. It does affect the type of men they pick. It does affect their self-esteem. It does affect what they'll put up with and what you can get away with. All that kind of stuff. A lot of that, just like with us, a lot of what our relationships with women are rooted in to our relationships with our mothers. Whether we realize it or not. So it's just the inverse. So I'm not saying it's always going to be a predictor. Well, if she had a relationship with her father, she's good, or if she didn't, she's bad. But I'm saying we'll notice as the relationship goes on, those little peculiar things we can say, oh, okay, I see why. If we look at the interactions that they've had with their fathers.
Yeah. And you know, my thing was I didn't grow up with all that lovey dovey hey, let me give you a hug, son, and ooh, you're so great. I didn't grow up with all that, and I don't need all of that in a relationship. I'm good. Now, you know, some other people that I have grown up with, they didn't receive that either, but they seek that and they need that. You know what I'm saying? But
And it's okay.
but I'm just saying that some people are able to overcome those things and some people aren't.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I don't really see where it's what's I don't really see nothing to overcome because if that's what you like, that's cool. The only thing is you have to find it for a person where it's in a healthy way. If you need somebody to tell you they love you 15 times a day, that's fine, find that. But as long as the person's not doing it to be manipulative or to get over the dog, you fine. You might find somebody that may want to call you 20 times a day. If that's okay with you, if that's what you like, if you found that good for you, that doesn't mean that somehow, even if you have incurred any kind of trauma or damage, it is something that has to be fixed. Because we all different. Some people don't need to hear "I love you." I'm one of them people I like hearing it. Doesn't mean nothing wrong with me. It just means I just have to find somebody where that's compatible.
yeah, but I mean, and
Well,
that's true because I'm the
well,
type of person I don't have to hear it, but if I go to touch you or kiss you and you shy away, oh, we got some problems. We
yeah.
got problems.
I'm more like that. I don't because we didn't grow up in the touchy feely. Me and then another girl that was on the podcast, a woman who was on the podcast. She literally was like, "D Block, you full of shit, and this and that and that and that. You full of shit." But the deal is, I told her that I'm neutral. If I meet somebody and they touchy feely, I know how to be touchy feely. If I meet somebody and she don't care for the lovey dovey, I'm cool with that too. I go with the flow of the people I meet because I'm just a neutral individual. Because I know how to be a good man, as what they consider a good man. I know how to be an asshole, and I play both roles. And I don't need, and I always been a self motivator. Because if I sat around and waited on people to tell me I'm great, oh, that's good.
Well, it's not a matter of you needing that for motivation. It's not. I mean, I think maybe we equate too much of people that may want to hear some adulation to get their flowers to people that just need it to survive. No, it's not that they just need it to survive. It's just sometimes shit. You just might want to hear, hey, you know what, you look nice. So you might want to get a call. That doesn't mean that you broken without it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure we make a the distinction between somebody that's so broken and so has such low self-esteem where they gotta have it to survive, as opposed to a brother that just like to feel like a woman wants him. You
But
know what I'm saying?
there are a lot of cases where there are people that are that emotionally broken that they have to be validated on a daily basis
Well, then they got other
because
issues, and we
Just
ain't
like
talking
the
about.
person I dated, she needed to hear that shit
Yeah,
24/7, and I
uh,
wasn't the one. I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah. Then
I
she
just
should pick
wasn't the
somebody
one.
else. Yeah,
you
she should
you
pick somebody else because there's
yeah.
plenty of brothers that'll do that for her. She just picked the wrong one.
And they
I
did that,
can I can
and they
tell
did.
you I can tell you every day that I love you. I can tell you every day that hey, I think you look super great. I am ultra attracted to you in every way. But if I miss one small thing, your world just unravels and falls apart.
Then you're not
You
compatible
missed
with
the
it.
coloring on my fingernails. I can't believe that. I just got them done, and you didn't even say anything about them.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I can't. I can't do that. And then, another thing, George.
Yeah.
I came from. I was taught and reared and instilled in me more than words. You can
Right.
say anything because I was a manipulator.
a
I
liar, a cheater.
yeah, a
You
lot
did
of
it
things.
all.
I say a lot of things, but yeah, and I know how to bullshit. I know how to put
Right.
on that shit show. So when a person say they love you and then they go behind your back and do something, or they lie in your face, or they do something you know they don't like them to do, show me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Act like I'm from Missouri, the show me state.
Right.
You got to show me. Because you can say I love you all day, because I used to do it. And that's why when I got grown and older, I don't play with the word love. That's not a word in my vocabulary if I don't generally love you. You can tell me every day. And Austin and I, we up and let the cat out of the bag. He and I, when our women used to tell us until we got grown. When I say grown, I'm talking about well in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
We say, me too. Love you, me too. I love myself too. That's what we meant when we say me too.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and I don't play with that word. And so you have to show me. I don't go off no woman telling me, "Oh, I love you." Yeah. You know how many more guys you told them you love them, and then you laying up in my bed with the, you know. So I don't go for that. So our issue, Austin and I,
Mm-hmm.
with the mentality that we have, that's we have a lot of similar ways, and it's because we did a lot of similar things. And at one point, we was wondering when was karma gonna come back and get us? Because karma gonna get you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then when you overcome that, when you done met karma, you done dated karma, you done slept with karma, and your karma day is over, and you can feel that reset button. You actually get a reset button. And when you wake up that day and you walk outside, it's reset. You look like you're breathing different. You're seeing things different. The trees are a little bit more vivid. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so that's when you done got your reset. You went through your hell, you went through that dark thing. And while you going through that dark moment, oh, you remember everything
Everything.
you did that put you in that dark moment.
That's
And
right.
sometimes it'll make you go back and look somebody up and, hey, remember what I did in 92? I want to tell you I'm sorry. I just wanted to check on you, you know, because I mean it can get that deep.
Right.
But once you then got rid of that, you still have your memories. You still have that those memories in the acts. And so we crept through relationships, kind of like you did back in the day when you would have the sandals on and you picking blackberries and you didn't want to step on none of the stickers. Y'all, you
Right.
didn't want to pick that button, that bear, and them stickers get in you. So when you have seen things and been through things, you see things different when you, I guess, reach the top of the mountain per se. And so you move different. You know, you think different, you move different. And so it's harder on the women that comes in your life after that, because you've
Right.
seen so much of the bullshit. You've been that cheater. You've been the one who say, hey, when that nigga go to work, give me a call. Hey, hey, tell that nigga you ready to go see your real nigga now. You know what I'm saying? We've been those dudes. And
Not
so
me.
when you in that relationship and when you marry, in the beginning, you sitting there like, you know, when is this gonna hit? So
Mm-hmm.
the you just have to show me. I don't believe in that, because I've been with a female when I was in college. I'll never forget calling her man, talking to him, telling she loved telling me to be quiet and all that shit. Well, I'm finna go by Janice when I leave here, and then I'm gonna stop by Quita. Then she called Janice and Quita and tell them, hey,
If
if
you
Gary
call,
called,
tell them I'm with y'all. I know.
yeah. And so and so tell them I'm in the bathroom or something. And so I've seen that. So the bullshit in me was hard. It was real
Right.
hard, and I ran off hundreds of women that probably would have been great for me, but the issues were there. The issues
Right.
were there. The
Right.
issues.
Yeah, and I'm trying to work through a lot of my issues, and it's just gonna. I'm sorry, it's just going to take time. That's all I can tell people. Hey, y'all got to give me a minute. I've been through a lot of shit. I got a lot of stuff to process. For me to be right, it's just gonna take a minute, and you got to be patient with yourself.
Yeah, I guess so. Uh, you know, like Black said, done a lot, and when you do so much, I'm gonna say dirt. When you do so much dirt, you think everybody else is dirty too. So when you can create a false sense of mistrust from the things that you've done, and you project that mistrust on everyone that you come in contact with, and you start to dissect every little thing that they do, because you be like, shit, I used to do that too. Wait a minute now, you know, and it could be something totally innocent.
Yeah.
And
But
so that's where a lot of people, tend to mess their relationships up, because they put whatever they've done on someone else.
right.
And
And
you
I'm
have
just
to,
now getting over that. I'm talking about since the new one that the wife now is the first time I kind of, and it still took like 3 years in. And that's why when we got married, it was well deserved because I was hell. And for her to stick around with my crazy ass and all she wanted was a hand in marriage, I was like, all right, because it ain't no way in north, south, east, or west hell I would have stayed with nobody who's as crazy as I was 3 years in.
and even being secure in your relationship, like Black and I are now, you know, sometimes there is a little piece that still creeps up, and you have to beat that down,
Yeah, you
you
have to
know.
be mature enough. Right now, I want to. I'm safe to say that he and I are in a position where we're secure enough in our own selves, really secure enough in our own selves, not just egotistic ways, but we're secure in ourselves, and we're gonna do everything to make the relationship good. Where if they leave, we'll help them leave. We'll salute it. And when I say that, mine get mad. But what I'm saying is, I know that I've done everything that I can do to make you happy, and I'm not that guy. And I salute that. And if you can find somebody to do more than me and keep you happy, I'm gonna help them get to wherever. What you need, what you need me to do to get you over there. I'll pay for the Uber. I'll drop you off. Let me take this bag to the car. Because I know I'm gonna give my 100% or 1,000% or whatever to make this thing work. And if it don't, and I just fall short, I'm good with that, because where I fell short with her, I know I'm gonna meet somebody else. I know several others that's probably out there waiting for a third of what I gave her.
Yep, you got
So
some
I'm
solid out
good with
there.
that. And another plus on my end, everybody who I've ever left in a relationship, I elevate. I went to the next level, whether it's financial wise, quality of woman wise. Everybody I left, I elevated. So right now, I'm in a good space. I'm in a comfortable space. And so if something was to happen and we break up, I'm like, damn, God, it's more. You mean to tell me I'm comfortable right now and I'm good right now, but shit, she fucking up, so it's more. Bring it on. So I'm confident enough to be like, if it just don't work, if it wasn't meant to be, it just wasn't. And that's how you
You know,
know,
my thing is, I at every point that I can, I shout my wife out, because I love my wife. I shout it from the hills, the mountaintops, anywhere. And if my wife ever messed up, I would be totally devastated. Totally devastated. But I'm not going to allow myself to be broken down to the point where I cannot move or move on. That's just not me. I'm not built like that. It's not in my character. It's not in my DNA. And if it was, it's been taken out. I just can't do it. I cannot allow someone to control my emotions at any
but
point in time.
but I'm gonna intercept him on that, George, and I want you to get the floor. I go back to what he said earlier. He was more like leaving the child. You know what I'm saying? So And he related it to maybe he's getting older. But no, number one, he never had a daughter. He never had a real relationship that he really felt what grown love is. We all have love between 16 and 30. But when you get over 30, that love hits you kind of different. It's a different type of love because you done been through your bullshit, you done played your games, you done hold around, you done snuck around. You at that age, if you're active, popularly and active, or even if you selected and you selected the ones you want to be with, you done went through the bullshit, the heartache, and all that. Then when you just get that break, I'm a grown ass man now. So who I meet, I'm gonna see if I can grow with them. So you're dating differently at 30 than what you did at 16, 15 in college, 25. You dating different when you become that 30 plus. Cause you like shit, I done played around. You know, a lot of men of standard, they date different. And so when he say he couldn't see himself letting everything go, that's because we notice the signs now. Just like when he said, if he reach out to try to hug and kiss his significant other and she brushed him away, we have a problem. So what we have a problem is the same as my problem. I'm pretty sure it's the same as we have a problem is. Meaning, I'm gonna protect my heart first because I've been in that dark space and I never want to go back there again. So when you push me away, I'm gonna slowly that wall that was built down, the bricks gonna slowly start popping back up, and then that cage gonna slowly come back and cover that heart. If you keep doing that, it's not gonna instantly boom. But I'm like, okay, maybe you don't want to be touched today because I have days I don't want to be touched. I have days I don't want to be talked to. Shit, I'm a Gemini and I'm an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. And so I understand when the wife get in those moods because I'm in them every other day, and I have to catch myself because I'm around people that not gonna adjust, that don't have to adjust to my attitude. So I understand that, but when you get that rejection from somebody who you feel like you love or somebody you giving your all to, oh yeah, I'm finna start protecting my heart for in the event that you are prepping to leave or prepping to potentially hurt me. I'm gonna be prepared for it. So when you do it, I'm like, okay, I've kind of figured that, you know what I'm saying? I was ready.
Right.
And I want to go back to something that you said before. You know, you were saying, whatever dude say he knock his girl down before she go out. So,
you know him too. He you know him real well.
Well, I tell you what, I've known a lot of women that do what they call double duty. They watch that thing out, and the next man jump in. So all that, well, I knocked her down real good. But if she ain't at home sucking her thumb sleep, you ain't did it. So she can still go. And if she can't get wet, they always got this stuff called lube. So double duty, triple duty, whatever she got to do that night.
This is the same dude who told us on one of the podcasts when Chanel was on there. We was talking about if the guy can't get it up, and the woman go down. He's oh shit, they got pills for that. So he like, yeah, a man can still get it up. So that ain't no issue no more. He said that probably was an issue back in dad in them days. He said, but hell, a man can get it up now. That ain't no issue. But the key thing is, I think majority of women, and then and I'm gonna play this clip. But the reason it's more messed up when a woman cheats is because she's an emotional creature. Majority of the time, if she just not out there in the street and been hoeing since she was 12, when a woman that's used to long-term relationships step out of that relationship, she's 9 times out of 10 either almost and 100% fell out of love with you, or she's totally interested in the guy that she's about to let in. So peep it.
When it comes to a girl cheating, there's no levels. I will not have sex with someone just for sex. I will have sex with them because I love them and I'm emotionally attached to them. Therefore, if I'm cheating on you, it's because I like the man and I want to have an emotional
so
relationship
is cheating
with him.
just having sex then? Is that only cheating?
No, that's not just cheating. But as a woman, I would never go to a man for sex. What the hell? I'll go and.
But can a woman
masturbate.
do other things that are associated with cheating outside of sex?
It's all emotional. So even if I'm talking to someone on the daily,
is that cheating?
And FaceTiming them at night, for me that would be cheating because they're giving me like an emotional need.
And you know, a lot of people don't understand that there are different forms of cheating. You have the physical and you have the emotional, and I think that, well, for me, both of them pretty bad. But I guess for women, the emotional cheating that a man does is more hurtful than physical cheating. I've heard women say that they can get over the physical, but they can't get over the emotional cheating.
Right.
I've heard it too.
And I think it's opposite for men.
Yeah.
Right, it is.
And and it goes back to what George said in the intro. The reason men is a more of a physical thing is because we barely let our emotions get involved in anything. So a man could go out and have a steady sex partner, but still take care of home. He's not trying to get rid of the real, what they consider real men or men of standard, whatever. A lot of the alpha males, they will mess around outside of the marriage, but they're still going to take care of home and keep them, and they want to keep their marriage together. Whoever they're messing with, understand that they're side chicks. This is temporary. We're doing what we're doing, and I have a wife. And he's going to show his ring. He's going to flaunt his ring. I have a wife. But when that woman cheats, majority of the time, they are looking for something else. The next guy, the next chapter. But that man, he's going to always think everything cool. He's going to come back home. He's going to take the wife to dinner. He's going to buy the gifts, still do the flowers, still do the family gatherings. But when that woman cheats, they kind of shut down in the house. Conversations get smaller. More time on the phone. More time talking to the friends. More time in the grocery stores. More time window shopping. More time away from you. And men do the totally opposite. That man gonna go over there. If it take him 15 minutes to get a nut, he gonna do his 15 minutes. He finna wash up. He'll be right back home. It's a damn near 45 minutes to an hour cycle. He back at home. But when that woman, emotions tied in it, and she's looking at her next level, they're hyperbolous by nature. So when she thinking she's getting the next level, or like you say, it may not even be financial. Conversation.
It's just they're just drawing on emotions. Just drawing on how that person treats them, how they make them feel. So if another man make your woman get wet, then it's over with.
It's over.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. And that's why I say communication is a major key. And I don't know about you, George, but I know Austin and I, we are good listening ears. Mm-hmm. So women would come to us with their problems back in the day.
It happens to me all the time, even now. All the time.
Okay, so you listen to the problem, and then you voice your opinion, and then a lot of times that you may hear, "I wish he was more like you."
Yeah, all the time. I already know what y'all saying. That's how it starts.
Right.
That's always how it starts.
It's that conversation. And this is what this guy was saying right here. And then I want you to comment, George.
What I've discovered as a relationship expert, a licensed counselor, when women cheat and you break down and figure out why it happened, 9 times out of 10, it will always go back to she started to have a conversation with someone else. In other words, men try to get connected with women sexually. The reason that women get to connected to other men is because of conversation, because they're conversationalists, because they want conversation. Brothers, if you are neglecting your lady in conversation, remember I said 14 hours a week, you are making her vulnerable to getting that conversation somewhere else. I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying is when you don't give her the conversation that she needs, the meaningful conversation, the good conversation, she's vulnerable. She's tempted to getting it elsewhere. And so, brothers, I want to remind you, give her regular conversation. You want her to be faithful to you. You want her to be committed to you. You want her to be loyal to you. Give her regular conversation. Fill up her love tank with conversation. Fill up her mind with conversation. Give her regular. Don't allow some other guy to come into your lady's life and to give her the conversation that you're not willing to give her.
And that's real deal, because again, you know, your wife wants to know that she can come to you, talk to you about anything, and you're going to be her sounding board. She wants to know that you are attentive to her needs, and whatever it is that she's going through. And if you're not listening to her, giving her feedback, then she is probably going to seek that from somewhere else. If you're not mentally if she's a woman that likes mental stimulation, and you're not stimulating her mentally and emotionally, then she's going to try to find one of those pieces that you're missing out on somewhere else.
Right.
So you have to be a well-rounded husband, boyfriend, side, whatever you are. You have to be a well-rounded individual. I'm gonna say husband because I'm just talking from a husband perspective. You have to be a well-rounded husband to give your wife everything that she needs.
Exactly.
But you know what though, you can be doing, and here's the thing I try to tell people: you be doing all that shit, and it's still not mean no good because folks will still do what they want to do. So at the end of the day, as long as you remember, you can over control yourself and your reaction to things, and stop worrying about what somebody else, and because you can do all of that, you can do every step, and it still go left, and sometimes stuff just is what it is.
And that's what Black was saying earlier. He will welcome her to go ahead and leave because he knows that he put in everything that he could to make that relationship solid.
Right.
So if she chooses to do something outside of him or outside of the marriage or the relationship, then that's just you being selfish. You weren't really committed to this. So, and you're not my person. So thank you for your time. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for the lessons. Good luck with the next one.
And that's basically how you have to be, George, because you're not going to walk around afraid to be you, afraid to show a woman how you love. So when, like you say, if they reject it, but they say that the women give us signs, and I'm a firm believer in the signs, but a lot of times you ain't looking for signs because it's hard enough getting to know them. And so now you're sitting around trying to look for signs. Damn a sign. I need conversation.
If you ever get cheated on, I know people hate me for this, but it's usually your fault. And the reason I say that, particularly with men, a cheating woman shows you every red flag from day one. If you choose to ignore red flags, you'll pay the price. Cheaters show you they're going to be a cheat. And how they show it is very simple. Their values. Cheaters show you their past. They show you everything. But ignoring red flags is always going to land you in that position. Now, whenever I have clients that have been cheated on a lot, 3 years she's still been talking to her ex, I was like, there's no way she can get to 3 years without you consenting. There would have been late replies, there would have been days their phones are off, not telling you where they're going. Their social media would have suggested something. There would have been signs you chose to ignore them. The price you pay for that, unfortunately, is infidelity. Denying the red flags is always, it's going to catch up on you. The infidelity is going to occur.
Going back to that old saying, a cheater will always be a cheater. if you date somebody that cheated in the past, then it's true they're always going to be a cheater, but they're not always going to cheat. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I say that all the time because
Yeah.
people change. Because and the reason Austin and I, George, say that a lot because we're nothing like we used to be. Nothing like we used to be. And I thought I would be the way I used to be forever. And he used to get on me all the time because Austin always kind of wanted to settle down, and be in relationships.
Right.
I was like, shit, if I got 3, a main, one on side, and one I hit every now and then, if I didn't have that, I wasn't complete.
Right.
But he was like, man, when you gonna grow up? You just immature, when you gonna grow up? He matured a little, faster than I did.
Well, actually, I just did things a little bit differently because I would date one woman, but it would be for maybe 60 to 90 days, and then I move on to the next one. And the reason
he had a 60 to 90 day rule. I had a here and now Luther Vandross rule. It didn't matter. I'm in the club. I'm that DJ, so I'm here and now.
Right.
So so you move different. But when it comes to relationships, serious relationships, you have to move different. And seeing some signs and ignoring signs, I just feel like if it's somebody you've been dating and y'all in a relationship, if something not right, you should be able to communicate with that person. Me got to sit back and look at signs, man. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for it now. So worrying about who she texting on Twitter, who on her WhatsApp, who in her goddamn DM from Instagram, I could care less. I ain't tripping on none of that. I'm gonna do what I feel like I'm supposed to do. Now, the only sign that I do pay attention to is how I'm treated.
Right.
But all that other stuff, if she start, why you need to know where I'm going, and I ain't asked you where you was going, and a different little whole chance like that. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, I see where this possibly could be going. And then that's when my wall gonna come back up. And then when I see enough of it, and I tell every woman I ever dated, just do you. Okay, do you. And when I get tired, I know when to leave. So I'm not trying to alter a woman to do something that you want her to do that she not willing to do.
Right.
If she a club hopper and you want her out the club, she got to want to come out that club herself. If she an alcoholic and you don't like her drinking, she got to put that bottle down herself. I don't want you saying I stopped drinking because of you. I stopped smoking because don't stop doing none of that for me. You need to want to do it for yourself. And then I'm going to tolerate it as long as I want to tolerate it because you know what I like and what I don't like. And if you don't give a damn about what I like and what I don't like, you staying out to 2, 3 in the morning, you turning your phone off when you with your girlfriends, different stuff like that. If that's something I don't like and you doing it, you're giving me the sign.
Yeah, and you know what? At the point we at, man, we ain't got time for this. That's just too much wasted energy. Too much, if you got to do all that, man, just go on and just
call it a day.
And most times when somebody cheat, man, you're gonna end up letting it go anyway. It's best to go on and cut them ties and be through with it. Because when a woman do that or trade that trust, you always give her the side eye. Maybe you can get back to some modicum of trust, but as far as it being what it was, that's a wrap.
You've been cheated on and you let that person back.
No, go ahead.
This fall in with.
If you've been cheated on and you let that person back into your life after pain, after trauma, and after having to come to the realization that that person is capable of doing that to you in the first place, one of 3 things will happen. 1, they cheat on you again. That could easily happen. They were capable of doing it before. They're capable of doing it again. Number two, you continue the relationship, but you can't get over it. You can't get over the fact that they were capable of doing it. You lose that security in a relationship and you become anxious. Not fun. Number three, you find enough security in you and they give you enough security to know that it's not going to happen again and you can find love again with each other. Now let's say it's 30% each way, right? 30%, 30%, 30%. The last one is the only positive one. Are you going to risk getting back into that relationship with that someone knowing that maybe it's only 30% likely that it's going to be good again? Are you heartbreaking yourself going back?
And that's more how you think, Austin. So now you have the floor, but that's like you said. Did she hurt that guy? Did that guy hurt himself for believing too much in her?
Yeah.
He hurt himself. Yeah.
And then, people can get back in relationships after cheating, and then it's just a back and forth. Then it becomes a very toxic relationship. And then it may turn into something totally different. That mistrust can turn into physical altercations. And then those physical altercations it can just get totally messed up. So why would you put yourself in that situation where every time he or she's talking to somebody else, then you puffing up your chest like, that's your nigga, that's your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. Because you don't trust them like that anymore. You get him too? You know what I'm saying? So it's never good. You riding around at her job trying to figure out what's going on. Every time she take off her panties, you trying to sniff them to see what, if it's a different smell. Trying to feel them to see if it's wet, if it ain't been raining outside. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's hell, but man, look, I'm like George said, you can do everything, but if that's just not your person, man, that's just not your person. Peep this guy out.
When we take each other back after we both cheated.
You know what they say. It's
not that one. I wanted Austin to see that, but I think, did you see that one, Austin?
But the guy, I caught the end of it.
All right, peep this.
She got some damn explaining to do. Kid. Why damn? What? With your slick ass, I got the notification. What the hell you doing in here?
I just needed some space. That's all.
You needed some space.
That's it. What are you doing
What's
here?
funny? Because ain't nothing funny. You talking about you needed some space. Okay, space. You said you was going to stay with your mom. You going to be over your cousin's house. Why would you need a hotel to have space?
Some space away from you. We've been arguing and stuff like that.
Oh, somebody else has some space too, because none of this look familiar.
That's one of my friends.
What friend? I know all your friends. Name them.
Jordan. He's just one of my friends. We just
Whoa. What the hell you mean he?
He needed some space away from his people, and we decided to get a room together. What's the problem?
Okay, we all deserve each other.
What?
That is so disrespectful. Somebody, you need some space. But I knew when you said you needed some space, I knew what you really was talking about. You wanted to break up. Enjoy yourselves.
And I laugh, but that's a sad situation, man.
Yeah, I'm not going through all that.
Nah, me neither. It ain't worth all that. It's really not.
I can't do it.
But he thought she told him she needed some space.
Well, space is you go in the garage, you go in the backyard, you go in the guest room. We're not spending hours like that away from each other, and we're not staying away from the house overnight. So, you ain't going over your grandmama's house, you ain't going over your mama's house.
She ain't going nowhere, Mike.
You ain't going nowhere. Go on back there in the room, pull them sheets back on that other bed. You can sit back there. I text you and check on you. All right, so you got all the space that you want. Hell, I put a little refrigerator in there. You ain't even got to come out the room.
But he doing all that talking tonight. She must be she must be in class or studying somewhere because he ain't never talked to
My wife
crazy.
is right. My wife is right here. We don't. Anything that I say, she already knows that I'm gonna say it because we've had conversation. We've had conversation, and that's what people don't establish up front.
Right.
You need to establish what you all's rules are up front for each other.
Right. They say, yeah,
Because
that's us. We don't
yeah,
leave the house.
no,
When we get through arguing, when we get through arguing, and they know I can't get in the car and say I'm finna make a ride around town. Like we can't do that. No, we don't do that either. And that's why I said on another podcast is we have a lot of space in the house. So when she get upset, when she go in that room and she closed up and she want to watch Charmed or some bullshit all day, I don't go in there. She locks the door. I got a key. But if I see that door locked, I just touch it. If it's locked, I keep it moving. Okay, well she feeling like that today, and then I go downstairs or go in another room. So come back in here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no big deal. I got a bed in here. So if I need a nap, I'm gonna lay down. So like he
See, I
say,
ain't used to be that calm. See, I ain't used to be that calm. Somebody tried that dope stuff on me. You know what I did? I took the door off the hinges. You ain't gonna close no door in my damn house. That's the energy I used to be on.
You know, one thing that my wife and I used to talk about our pre-married life, right? And she said one thing that she used to like to do, used to like to go drive, take a long drive. And, I was like, yeah, I used to like to do that too, open up my sunroof and go ride. But now, at this point in this marriage, if she talking about she wants some fresh air, she better go out there on that balcony or open the window. Because
That's that I turn it. That's that height. You know what I'm saying?
No, that ain't that height. I mean, because that's
like
we
that
just
too,
don't
but
get
this
we
nigga-
just don't get down like that.
Right.
So I mean, I was saying that being funny, but really, no, we don't do that. We're not leaving the house. We're not leaving the house emotionally charged at any point in time. So we got televisions in every room. Like I said, if she need a drink, I put her. Hey, we got a cooler. I go ahead and put her some bologna in there, and put some water on ice or whatever she need. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to leave the house. We're not leaving our space. And our baby loved us being close to each other. So damn it, she need to be able to walk from room to room whenever she decides she want one of the parents or the other. So ain't nobody going nowhere.
And if she pack her bag, you packing yours too, ain't?
If she pack her bag, then she better be packing mine too.
Right.
Because we right in tow. Yeah.
George said he took the door off the hinges. What made you take the door off the hinges, man?
Man, I was going through my divorce and it was heated. And I got a bad temper. It's gotten better. But I went. I ain't gonna stress the situation, but I went there. I'm like, because we were sleeping in separate rooms. So I tried to go in her. No way, this is my house. You gonna lock me out of a? No, I just go off the hinges. Because see, at that point, I let myself get emotionally charged in the situation and act out of character. And see, a lot of times we don't talk about too when these situations come up. People don't think about our initial reaction to them. And see, as we get to our ages now, we learn to think and not be so reactionary. So we find things out like this. We have to sometimes figure out how we feel about it before we can address it. I've had stuff happen recently. Before it said where I would just react before, I really had to think about, George, how do you really feel about the situation? So I slept on it. I prayed on it. Then I addressed the issue later.
Yeah. And that's the thing. But you can have people that draw you out of your character, draw you out of what you would normally act like. And if you are in those type of relationships or situations, those aren't good relationships or situations for you. And you truly really need to sit down, self-evaluate, and see if you really need to move on or if there needs to be some other changes. Because again, that can create even more issues, problems, and concerns.
Right.
And my thing is, in a relationship, especially now, and like George said, once you get a little older, the 30s, 35 up, you start choosing your battles, choosing your concerns, choosing your questions. You ain't finna sit here and worry about something that you really can't control or do nothing about. And I heard the frustration in George's voice earlier when he said at the end of the day, and this was my mindset too, and it probably is, it's just on the back burner now. But at the end of the day, a person gonna do what they want to do. They are gonna do what they want to do.
Can't disagree with that.
And I agree with George. You can do everything you can, everything you feel like is right in a relationship, coming home on time, sending love letters, bringing flowers. But if that person, for some odd reason, is not feeling you,
even if they are feeling. But here's the thing: a lot of times we assume too it's because they're not feeling us. It's not that. It's just they just doing what they do. It's not because they not necessarily feeling you. They just doing what they do. And we worry too much about the whys and the hows and the signs. At the end of the day, no matter how many signs you paid attention to or ignored, the end result is still the same. So then what do you do from that point going forward? So I think it's good to spur the discussion now as to, okay, now you're here. Now you at this point. Now whatever's over. Now whatever's happened. Now what do you do for yourself going forward instead of, okay, well, if she do it, if she wring out her panties in the sink on a Tuesday, that means she cheating. We ain't got to get into all of it. Don't none of that matter at this point. At this point, you at ground zero. You done find out what you done find out. Now what you gonna do?
And you suggest, like everybody, like majority of people say in these clips, it's not gonna work. Move the fuck on.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Now, have you known, before you go, have you known anybody that you know personally that took a mate back that was messing around and they're still together today?
Hell no. Not
and none of them work.
None of them. It had the ones I know where the folk wasn't nobody cheating didn't work. So, no, it usually doesn't work because it's not the cheating thing. I think too we may be folks. It's the trust. It's not so much the cheating. It's the trust. Once that trust gets violated,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Especially with us men, I think it's more so an emotional thing for us too, than some of us realize. Some of us is not, but each one of us is different. But it's just that once that trust is gone, that's what messes it up.
All right, that's a good summary. We know you got to go. We appreciate you coming on, man. That's our other therapist, the male therapist of the panel, George. He do his thing, man. We got another hot topic next week that I'm sure he gonna want to dive in on. So he say he back for a minute. So we're gonna be looking for you. So y'all won't see him again. Give him your social media, George, and tell him a little bit about yourself before you get off.
Hi, I'm George P. Brooks, CEO and founder of Meta Association, a nonprofit that I started 6 years ago to focus on Black male mental health, fighting recidivism, and promoting healthy fatherhood. You can reach us at 214-810-6518 for collaboration. I'm also doing public speaking. So I do have my rate sheet, media kit, and speaker reel available. You can reach me at George P. Brooks on Facebook. But the best way to get in touch with me is 214-810-6518, or you can email me at gbrooks@metaassociation.org.
All righty. All right, George. Appreciate you, man. We're going to carry it out. We got another 30 minutes on here.
I got some stuff. I'm campaign manager for a friend of mine in Memphis. I'm running a campaign from Dallas, and we got some stuff popping off, so I got to get to that.
Okay, that's respected. And we appreciate
it. It's all good stuff, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much again.
All right,
good deal. Appreciate it. Peace. We got another 30 minutes, and we out.
Can a man forgive a woman for cheating? You're an idiot and don't know what the hell you're talking about if you're out here simply saying yes or no to this question. Before this question can be answered, first we need to know what cheating is. Cheating is simply any action committed secretly, knowing that your significant other would disapprove. Now I get it. Most people mean having sex with someone else outside the relationship. But even if that is what you mean, that needs to be said because we live in an era where context is very important. So let's rephrase. Can a man forgive a woman for sleeping with another man? When a woman allows a man to enter into her, she is submitting to him. When a man enters into her, he has dominion over her. In the Bible, this is how men claim their wives. A man who forgives his woman for submitting to another man is a cuckold. A man who does not forgive his woman for submitting to other men is a man of standards and self-respect. We live in a day and age where multiple women will flock to you, submit to you, and bear your children, knowing other women are involved. So shame on any man who forgives a woman for sleeping with other men. He is a disgrace to his peers and masculinity. Any man who allows his woman to submit to other men has lost his manhood. Any man who accepts this behavior from women has been feminized.
He was direct, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I feel him on that, dude. I feel it. It's not only is it a man of standard just don't accept that behavior. Now I know quite a few guys who accept that behavior because they've been caught over and over again. So they stay together because they foot in the bills and they live in their lives and they step out every now and then. The woman go and try to fight the women that he messing with. He go try to jump on or shoot the guys that she messing with, and they still living together and being together. And I just don't understand it. And I know people that's doing this regularly.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, and I don't see that now, but yeah, growing up, I saw a lot of that. And, I hear tales of that now. You know what I'm saying? I still don't understand it. I just don't understand how you can continue to be with a repeat offender and you justify, I'm out there doing my thing too.
Yeah.
Well, why just not be single? Why
because they putting the bills together, and really this is what I think it boils down to. And I used to say this all the time. I used to say this 15, 20 years ago or more. He don't want it, he don't want nobody else to want it, and vice versa. She don't want him, and she don't want nobody else to want him, so they stay together. And then they may get two, 3 good months of being together before the other one step out again.
So. Well, I mean, I just say it like this. I mean, if you want to suck somebody else's dick, you might as well do it directly and stop taking it indirectly.
But they know the other person is not going to be there for them the way you are.
Hey, what I just say. So if you want to take somebody else's dick, or you want to take somebody else's pussy, you might as well go ahead and do it directly, and stop taking it indirectly. Because if you still messing with this woman, everything that she's has done to you, or doing to you, then you know she's doing that with the other dude. And then she coming home, or he's coming home, if it's the man doing it, and all you all are doing is swapping whatever whatever you've been doing. You know, everybody don't carry Listerine around in the car with them, and you never know when they're doing it. That's the thing. You never know. So why would you want to subject yourself to that on a daily basis of just not knowing? And then, you don't know who that other person is sleeping with, so you can be sleeping with 3 or 4 different people and you don't even know it.
Especially now it's nasty because a lot of guys are down low now. And, and it's crazy because it's a situation where this woman contracted something because she was messing with a guy who was messing with two other guys, and she didn't know. And so, being single and out there in that dating pool today, I just feel like it's tough. It ain't nothing that I would be quick to get into, because, like you say, you never know. And social media has corrupted the weak minds so much till you just don't know what they done tried, what they haven't tried, what they haven't tried that they want to try, and then you're getting in that triangle with them. And so it's like it's just a creepy, crazy thing out there today.
Yeah,
And
because everything goes these days. Everything goes. And everything is acceptable. You know, so you might come home with hoof and mouth disease. I don't know. I'm just saying anything, because you never know these days. And again, if you're sleeping with this person, then that person may not be faithful to you. So you're sleeping with some other person, and that person's sleeping with some other person because nobody's being faithful. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're going in without protection, then you're increasing your possibilities of contracting something. So I don't care if this person tell you, hey, I'm clean, blase, blase. You get paperwork. Yeah, I'm clean. They may not have AIDS, but there's no telling what else that they may have.
oh, but I get everything checked. They're gonna have to bring me some. I need to see gonorrhea. I need to see trichomonia. I need to see it all before we do anything.
And if they didn't have that test an hour before you laying down, there's no telling what they've done between that test and you sleeping with them. So you can sit up here. You can sit up here and trust everybody. You can trust their paperwork. You can trust whatever you want to. But at the end of the day, you can still end up with something that you can't get rid of, that you stuck with for life, because you out here and you trying to use sex as a toy or a ploy, and end up messing up your entire life or messing up someone else's life because you didn't know that you had something.
Cheated, how do you know if you can trust them again? Like, let's say that they're sorry, they want to repair things, but you don't know if it's ever going to feel normal again. Because cheating's kind of like if someone poured a bunch of hot sauce into your favorite soup, it changes the flavor of everything. And just because they say sorry doesn't mean that it takes the hot sauce out. I mean, it's mixed in. Like, there's no going back. So what do I do? You taste a bit of the soup, and then for each bite that you take a ladle and you put some new soup back in. And over time, it will return back to something that was familiar, maybe even something new. I don't want to eat this hot sauce in my soup. That's not fair. I want a new bowl of soup. That's fair. You can do that. But if you're wanting to repair the relationship, moving on is only done by moving through.
And
that was a pretty good analogy.
That was a hella good analogy. Because like you said, you can stay in it and try to repair, but at the end of the day, it's not that soup. So you just want to give him a brand new bowl of soup.
Yeah.
And so, like, that made a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, again, once your person has, if you're in a true relationship and a committed relationship, and your person steps outside of your truly committed relationship, then that whole situation, her body, everything you feel is tainted.
Yeah.
Contaminated, tainted, whatever you want to put it as, is no longer something that you truly desire. No longer something that you really want to deal with. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I know how I am. I cannot sit up and look at you every day and think that this is my beautiful, lovely wife anymore. The same thing if you hit me, if you physically abuse me in any type of way, I can no longer look at you and look at you as desirable anymore. Because you've done something that my enemies would do or would want to do. You have tried to physically harm me. So even if we get in an argument and you try to attack me with things that I have told you in confidence, you try to use those things against me, then you are an enemy to me, because that's what enemies do. That's not something that someone loves you do.
So if she snapped and grabbed something, you and her arguing, and you know you got that temper you have. She grabbed something to protect herself, and you know your temper. You still throw it away. It's over.
Well, if I've given you cause to try to pick up something to defend yourself, if I've shown you something within me that you think that I would hurt you
then y'all need to be together.
Because I'm yelling or because I'm angry, then we don't have trust in that relationship anyway. So there's no need for us to be together. If you trust me enough to say, okay, well, we're in a heated argument and I know that he's not going to hurt me, or you know that she's not going to hurt me, then your relationship is you're in a trusting relationship. But if you're in a relationship where you are afraid when this person gets upset and puts fear in you to the point where you feel like you have to defend yourself, then you are in a toxic relationship that needs to either be done away with, or you all need to get some help in order to establish some safeness in your relationship. So once you establish being in your relationship, then you can reestablish some trust in your relationship. But if you have fear, if you fear someone in your relationship, then you do not have a trustworthy relationship. Just like if you're raising a child and that child shies away from you every time you raise your hand or raise your voice or whatever, then your child does not trust you. You have done something to that child which causes them not to trust you. So you need to reevaluate yourself, your relationship, and where you want to go in your life. Either cutting it out and moving on, or doing what you need to do to repair whatever has been destroyed.
People,
let me walk you through the mind of a person who has decided to stay after discovering infidelity, after discovering that their partner is having an affair. This person now has to have superhuman strength. They have to now process emotions that they want to run from, trying to process hurt and betrayal and disappointment and frustration and disgust and resentment and anger and sadness. Just if you can think about that, that is exhausting to a person. It feels like you are losing your mind. But they also have to see you, the person that they once saw as attractive, as beautiful, the person that they once believed would not hurt them. They have to see you in a more positive light when they are truly disgusted by you. they have to process the things that they cannot process, the whens, the wheres, the whys, the hows. All of those questions that they know that they would probably never get the answers to. Now they have a developed fear of you possibly doing this again. What if you go back to this person? And when you're the person who has cheated, before you come in saying, I want you to heal, you need to forgive me, you decided to stay. You knew what you were signing up for. Before you say that, realize how distorted their reality is now. Realize how much it's going to take for them to truly forgive you and to truly move forward. That's not something that's going to happen in a day or a week. And you honestly don't have the right to really put a time period on it, because if that's the case, then you made a choice as well. When you cheat, you hide it for a reason, because you know when your partner finds out about it, it's going to hurt them. It's going to destroy them. You are not going to have the same person that you had before. So before you come in making these unrealistic demands, and before you start being unreasonable, realize that you have possibly destroyed that person. That person can't eat. They can't sleep. They can barely navigate life. They can't get work done. They're constantly worrying about what it is that you're doing. There's no true resolve. Their mind just keeps going. Love and history is one of the biggest blinders. And that's why most people stay in relationships to begin with. So think about that before you say you need to get over it, because that's not real.
Yep, and
You
and
said
I
a
feel
mouthful.
that. Yep, I feel that. But and she's right. Once you commit that act and that person finds out, it does change them, and you can't tell them how long to stay in it, how long it should take for them to get over it, because some people it can take a lifetime, because again, those reruns continue to play in your head. Your memories do not go away. They continue to play. You continue to see these flags, whether they're red or not. You continue to see them because everything becomes a flag now. Everything becomes a red flag. And that person, the person that did the cheating, it's going to be some things that they're going to have to accept. You're going to have to accept, hey, I'm going here, I'm going there. Well, why are you going there? Well, how long is it going to be? How long you think it's going to take? Well, I'm going to go with you. You have to accept those things, because you have created a situation where this person no longer trusts you. They no longer see you as the person that you were prior to them finding out what happened. There's always going to be a when, why, what happened, why me, why her, why him, what made you do this? And you're probably gonna get that question a lot.
Yeah, y'all trying to be out.
So you have to be prepared to answer that question. Yeah, you have
Y'all
to be
be
able
out
to
and
answer
just
that
trying to
question
enjoy
over
yourself.
and over and over.
A nice, quiet dinner or whatever, or an amusement park, enjoying yourselves, and then they ask you, they shut down. You know what I'm saying? The fun just turned to shut down. Being like, what's wrong? I still can't believe you did that. Why? I mean, what made you like, man, why are we still in this? So to keep yourself from going through that, that's why majority of everybody who spoke on this, all the videos and even George, the other guy, was saying that get out of it. Even like this song here that we used to listen to.
I don't know or how to go about it. Shall we take a chance and patch it up, or just leave it for a memory?
And so they were singing about it back in the day, but we were too young to understand what those songs like that really meant. Should we walk away? Should we keep on trying? And I think it was the failures from back then that was trying to keep on trying that makes us say, do you want to go through that healing process that'll probably never really heal?
Yeah. Now, don't walk away because you're a coward, because you don't want to hear all that stuff and them going through their healing process. You know, if you want to stay and make it work, but you can't be a coward and not go through this healing period with whoever you're with, if that makes sense.
But a lot of times, Jay, people stay in those relationships per se till they find somebody to move on to or till they get their lick back.
Sometimes, but sometimes not. So you know who you're with. You know if you're with a woman or a man that's gonna want their lick back. You know the type of person that you have. And sometimes that's why people go mess up, and they mess up multiple times, because they know who they have. They know this person is committed to them. They know this person really doesn't want to lose them. So they still, and that's where dogging out comes in. You know what I'm saying? But that person has to have enough self-love and strength to realize that things aren't ever going to change. So I have to change them for me, for my sanity, for my heart. And then once that happens, you'll normally see that person that was doing all this dogging out, doing all this cheating, they're the ones left out. Man, I messed up. I didn't think she would leave. I didn't think he would leave. Now you sitting over here hurting with empty relationships that don't even really matter at the end of the day. So you gave up someone that was totally committed to you, someone that was totally in love with you, for a relationship, for a minute relationship that's probably not going to last. So
and
you have to think
out of
about
10, they don't last. From what everybody's saying.
So you have to think about what you're giving up for a moment in time.
Yeah, and that's what this lady said, that exact thing. Just what you just said. She was like, let me see. Here you go.
As somebody who had an affair, one of the hardest things for me with the recovery was when the fog actually lifts and you can't help but think, what the F was I thinking? When you realize you almost gave up your entire family for a pipe dream, for a fantasy, it can hit like a ton of bricks. And even now, when it's been several years later, it can still sometimes hit me when we're having a really good time. I can look at my family and be like, holy crap, I almost lost everything for my selfish, hurting self and wanting to run from my own issues. And it took so much time to get healthy again. So if you're on that line, flirting with coworkers, messaging with an old flame, run now. Take my advice and the advice from several people who've lived it and walked it. It's not worth it. Get out and get therapy now.
And he took her back, I guess, because they had a family. I see that a lot in the older generation. They split up. They may stay gone a year or two, and then they get back together. And it's supposed to be better. You know, they took their little 2 years off, year and a half, 2 years off. They get back together, and it's supposed to be better. I guess when you're older, you know, when you, I guess, 65, 70 or something, it don't matter no more. I don't know, but I see a lot of them taking the spouses back and making it work. I guess, I don't know. Is it the older you get, you don't give a shit? It's like,
No, I mean she didn't seem old, but the thing is, when you have a family and you're committed to your family and you are an intentional parent, it is super hard to walk away from what your norm is, what you see your norm is every day. I could not imagine not sitting at home with my wife and my child, because like I said, she likes us to sit close because she likes to bounce from one parent to the other, one parent to the other. And to take that away from her for a selfish act, I couldn't see myself doing that.
Right,
because
right.
I'm hurting more than just my wife. I am disrupting my child's life, what she has been used to for ever since she's been born. So you have to, when you're thinking about doing these things, you have to think about every life that you're affecting. And if you love any part of yourself, love any part of your child, love any part of your spouse, then
any part of your family,
any part of your family, then you won't do it. Because again, it's a moment in time. It's a feeling for a few moments. And then if you break up everything that you think about, everything that you have over here to go to emptiness, it's just like starving yourself to death.
Yeah. And so, but like you say, many of them stay in it, but they're not happy. So that's why I say, think about it before you do it.
Right.
And if you think about it before you do it, you have less chances of doing it. And that's why it's hard for me to take a person back, because I'm like, why you didn't think of this before you did what you did? When all you have to do is just have that talk, y'all can try to work the kids into, the breakup, the separation, but just to jump up selfishly and do something like that is, like I said, it's a selfish act. But we all remember this, because like you say, you'll never know when you take them back when they'll do it again. You just... And that was the perfect cheat song. And we knew some what they was talking about, but we didn't know how deep it was when they was, doing that damn song. It was like, and it was tons of it. Like y'all said, we'd be talking. It's tons of it going on, and it been going on. It's just more publicized now. So they was singing so many songs about this, years ago.
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. It just looks different.
Give you money and every little thing that you need. I gave you the world because you were my girl, but you still ran down on me. Oh yeah, sleeping in my bed.
So all them cheating songs, I mean, that shit was going on real bad because every song that was a hit
Yeah.
was
Man,
about.
you made me want to go put a tape together.
Dude, that's what I said when I found all these. I was like, yo, I need to put it together. You know, throw a
When you
real
when you do,
throwback party. You know,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, it got deep. It got deep. And let's see, it was one more that I want to and I got to put. I ain't gonna find it.
You
But
trying to hit it with the Rich Dipperfield?
who boy? Nah. Well, cause you put them on that deep. Let's see, can't go back. But yeah, a lot of them saying don't. Majority of the people on here, all the videos were saying don't stay in that relationship. You got to move around.
How people do this. I feel like my heart is gonna stop right.
Oof, I'm a professional at moving on after being cheated on at this point. And if anyone understands you, I do, trust me. I felt that exact same way, literally didn't even want to live without him. I was actually at that point. But if I could get through it, I promise you can and you will too. And here's how I did that. First off, the biggest thing is telling yourself this is about to be a rough few months. The second is knowing that you're about to use this breakup to become the best, strongest, most independent version of yourself. Because in life, people are gonna leave, people are gonna blindside you, and we can't feel so devastated to the point where it almost breaks us when this does happen. I want you to take a few days, a week, however long you need, lay in bed, cry, don't do anything, get it all out, just get through the day. That way when you're ready, you get up and you show this why he should have never done that shit to you. There's no better way to do that than becoming the happiest, most independent, best version of yourself, like I just said. For me, that looked like journaling. I unfollowed pretty much everything and everyone on social media, and I just started following healthy, positive, like spiritual pages, advice pages, daily affirmation, stuff like that. Also, I want you to cut him off, and I want you to cut off anyone who doesn't always unconditionally make you feel like you are loved. And the sooner you cut him off and are consistent with that, I promise the sooner you're going to move on with your life. Every time you talk to them, it will push it back. A huge thing is if you're thinking about him, how could he do this? Why? What is he doing right now? I want you to stop. I want you to literally stop and think about what can I do right now for myself.
Now that's better than saying I'm gonna get my league back.
Yep.
Focus on yourself. Focus on positivity. Get into something else to occupy your time. You can't keep texting. Can't keep wondering what they're doing. That's why I said you have to get up every day, go in that bathroom, cry for an hour and a half. You gotta do what you have to do, but focus more on yourself. It ain't about, they say the best way to get over a man is to get up under one, and vice versa. That ain't no good advice right there.
When I heard one of my exes tell somebody that, I looked at her totally different.
Yeah, the best way to get over one is to get under one. Get your lick back, girl.
Nope.
And that was the biggest turnoff, wasn't it?
Yep.
Never saw the same.
Never saw the same. Relationships started eroding from that point.
Yeah, because every now and then you're going to be like, okay, so when you get mad at me, you're going to run and find somebody to get up under.
These are the 3 steps to take after they cheat on you. Number 1, leave. Listen to me when I say this. You got to realize you were never their first option. You were just what they settled for in the moment. So the moment they found something that seemed more pleasing to them, they left you to rot. A real girlfriend or boyfriend can't be taken. A relationship that was meant to be can't be broken. And the sooner you realize that, the better. Number 2, see it for what it is. They chose to cheat on you. They weighed the options, they looked at the pros and the cons, and chose to take a chance on cheating on you. It is what it is. It's not going to change. They chose the other person over you. What makes you think they won't do it again? Number 3, accept it and move on. Don't waste your time trying to get back with someone you weren't meant to be with. Just move on, focus on you, and give yourself time to heal.
Yep.
Self-healing.
Yep. All that is
but yeah, it's a touchy situation. It can go every which way. But what I did learn tonight, which I wouldn't do anyway, but the taking back is going to be too dramatic. Even though I talk to different people that have taken the mates back, and they say what you said, your friend said. I was doing it too, so they accepted the her doing it back. But the fact that majority of women emotionally cheat and are cheat with a motive to get out of the relationship, whereas men just cheat for recreation per se. A woman, when she cheats, she has a motive, and it's to move on, to find something better or something that fits a new taste or something of hers. So the fact that I know that, it'll be hard to take back. I understand what you're saying about the family, but at the end of the day, I have to have my sanity. So I don't think I could do it. I may attempt, but once I'm not attracted to her anymore sexually, she got to go. I'm not going to torture myself. And my mental, I'm very visual, and my mental runs a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if I'm disgusted in someone, sex is the last thing I want from them. All that breakup to makeup shit, I never did that, because when I'm mad at you, the last thing I want to do is have sex with you. So I couldn't do it. And if I do, I'm just gonna prolong it until I do me. So I feel I made her hurt the way she made me hurt. So I just think it's best, to get out
Just
of it.
walk away. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And I agree. Some people, I mean, if you can do it, hey, more power to you. But I probably couldn't. And so again, my final words are: picture everything that you have now and ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is it really worth losing, disrupting, displacing everything that you have? And if you care
family
anything,
unit.
your family unit, if you have kids, look at your kids in the face and see if you can destroy that little face with everything that you're about to do for just a moment in time.
And on that note, before we dock the ship, keep in mind, I never, kind of like George, I've never really seen, every now and then they blossom, but a relationship, especially like you were speaking earlier to the married people, when a not married female or male is messing with a married male or female, and they so-called took them from that person or got with that person, eventually they're not going to trust you, the one who left the mate, the one who left the relationship. If you get a phone call, if that behavior, the same thing that they told you to tell the wife or the husband so you could leave and get with them, if you do something similar, they're going to say, hey, you doing the same thing that you were doing her. You must have found you somebody else. So, you're not winning because you're saying, hey, I took such and such man. If you took him from her, what makes you think somebody else can't take him from you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I always thought of that. And I never took a female that I was dealing with who was in a, per se, happy home where he's paying the bills, his conversation is there, he's buying her anything she can think of and trying to keep her in a steady, lifestyle. And then she's messing with me, and I know I'm not going to pay you for it, but I'm going to we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. But the things he's doing for you at that house, I'm not going to do, and you leave him, I'm not going to be with you. You know, they'll be like, well, hey, we about to split. I was like, hey, you need to go back over there and talk to him. You know, you need me to call him and talk to him because I'm not going to do what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready, you know. So if you in a good, stable relationship, like somebody posted on social media the other day, if you have a good or decent mate, it's best you keep them these days, because the new breed of females, the new breed of men that's coming out with all the distractions they have, if you're a person that's longing for love and seeking long-term relationships, it's not going to happen. It's very slim that it's going to happen. So on the cheating note, if you got somebody good, stay with them. Think 2, 3, 4 times, like Austin said, before you do it, and ask yourself, is it worth losing what I have for the moment? And what you have for the moment may not be the greatest, but if it's serving the need and it's really not a problem besides your selfish motives, are you looking at what your cousins, sisters, family, and classmates doing on social media, and it's making you doubt and look at your relationship weird? Think about it before you do it, because good relationships are hard as hell to find today. And, you know, it's just like a job. We used to could leave jobs and land another one paying just as much, paying more at a drop of a hat. But that ain't happening today. And with that note, we landing we about to dock this boat, and we out of here till next week, and we're gonna come with another steamy topic. So on behalf of DJ Black and to speak on it, 2K24, we out. Austin, I'll let you later. Shout out to George that popped in with us earlier. We had a chat or two that came through. Luke, shout out to Jonathan Lucas. Brian Ray, B-Ray, what's that? B-Ray, you need to get in on the Hip Hop Podcast. It's going to be the third Wednesday, so around the 15th or something like that. You get with me on that. But on that note, we out. And what we always say, Austin, when we get out of here.
Hey, it's happening. So you
might as well speak up.
Might as well speak up.
Hey.
What you thinking, man? I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is? Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. You know, I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, you know, what your culpability is in a relationship going, well, however it went. You know, you start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you know, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men, because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we were even thought. Why doesn't my father like is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are, like, absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, like, what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. You know, at one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, you know, I know, you know, I mean, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.